Susan and Scruffy have come today to ride the Christmas train. Hear it, it's very loud. But we wanted to show you what a train ride felt like. So there's a man called the conductor, and he is who's in charge, and he drives the train on the tracks. I want to show you these tracks. Look at that. And those big wheels. It's very important that the train stays on the tracks. So last week we talked about fast and slow. I wonder if the train will go fast or slow today. You will have to help me decide.
Aboard!
Thank you!
Right.
So here is the train station. And I am inside the train. I just heard a big train whistle, which means we're about to pull away from the station. There's our friend, the conductor. He's looking to see if there's anybody else that's coming. So I will tell you something about Miss Susan. My grandfather used to work on a railroad train. And he worked on Southern Railroad. And I see they have a list right there of times when the trains come and the trains leave. That's called a schedule. And he worked on a red caboose. So you don't see too many cabooses anymore. So we're looking out the window. Oh, Scruffy. We're in the train. Oh. Let's see what we can see out the windows. So, do you think the train is going slow or fast? I would have to tell you, I think it's going kind of slow, but that's okay. This is the little town right beside the train station. Look at the cars. So they're going faster than we are.
There's 5 rails on the right here that they use to store their rolling stock. If you come out here about another hour and a half, these trains will be gone. They move them out all the time. When I was working here last year, there was only 1 rail full. Well, actually, they're gone now. This morning, all 5 rails were full of trains. When you look in between these trains here, you don't see anything. They're all been moved. So this is a constantly fluid train yard, so it's kind of interesting to keep an eye on it. There is some public access down here. You can come by and just look and see what happens, but not uncommon to see train engines running up down every 30-45 minutes. I always have a challenge for the younger kids. Count the number of rail cars you see that don't have graffiti.
Graffiti, boys and girls, is when people take cans of paint. Yes, they are very talented. So they paint with paint cans on these cars while they're stopped, and then there's writing on the trains. I saw some writing and some letters, didn't you? These are round cars that we're seeing now, so it's harder to paint on those. Hear the train whistle. It warns people that we're coming. There's a truck, and look, there's an old fire engine. telling you about, the red caboose. The conductor said they don't need those anymore on the end of trains. But that is a little red caboose. They use the roundhouse to turn the trains around. It's very hard to back a train up backwards. That's an engine. Thank you for riding with us today. That was really, really fun. We're going to go see some other things in the museum. So boys and girls, here are some railroad crossings. We have to be careful when we cross over a railroad track to make sure that a train isn't coming. So they have what they call an arm, and the arm will go down and not let cars pass. It's very important not to go past the arm because a train could be coming and you want to stay safe. A lot of times those lights are flashing. See those? They're not on right now. So now we're inside the museum. Look at this. This is a Jeep. So we'll see all kinds of different cars for the railroad, and also cars that would ride on the road. Look at that old-fashioned car. These cars are what they are called antiques. Antiques means they're very old. We don't see them anymore. Some people like to collect old cars. Well, here's a big truck. Did you know that trains help us move things from one place to the other? Not just people, but they also move groceries. And we saw that lumber. We said that was wood. Oh, there's an old-timey truck. Look at that. Oh, and even older still is an old-fashioned wagon. A farm wagon, it says. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And here I see an airplane. Oh my word. That is what a museum is. A museum is something where you go to find things that are interesting. They are a collection of things, a group. So today we have a group of things that move, transportation. I saw here's some motorcycles. So we go from things that are very big, like that big airplane, to a motorcycle, all different sizes. Oh, there's another old car. Oh, boys and girls, I don't even think this old car has any seat belts. I don't think that is safe. But as cars have gotten newer, people have made them safer so that we can stay safe. Oh, People that like old cars would love to be with Miss Susan and Scruffy today. There's another big train. It shows you how big the train cars are. Look, there's the car. And we know a car is big, but beside of the train car, it looks kind of small, doesn't it? Wow. We know these cars have engines and they take gasoline. But look at this. These are what we call a horse and buggy. So there is no engine in this. What makes this one go? Oh, you're right, Scruffy, you're right. You have to put a horse on this one. That's what those sticks are called, or for. They put the sticks right beside the horse and kind of fasten the horse to the buggy. And the horse is so strong that it can move the carriage. So, oh my goodness. We have all kinds of ways to go, don't we? What did we call that word? Transportation. I am glad that Miss Susan and Scruffy live so close to the Transportation Museum. So these chains tell me that Scruffy and I can't walk any further. We can cross the railroad track. Oh my goodness. Look what we can do. We can look down in there. There's the rails. Remember that we saw when we rode on the train? A railroad line comes right through this museum. Look at there. There's another big train. Oh, now I see a big 18-wheeler truck. We'll get that one in just a minute. Another way of moving I hadn't even thought about, boys and girls. Look at this. What if we wanted to move on water? Oh, we need a boat. Look at those. That one has a motor at the back, but these are canoes. And if you want those to go, you have to paddle them yourselves. What they call a covered wagon back there, so that if it rained, the old-timey people wouldn't get wet. Oh, look at that. What is that thing? That's another way to go. That is a golf cart. Or they call it a shuttle on the front. There I see the letters that tell Miss Susan it's a shuttle. So it would take people from one place to the other, so they wouldn't have to walk so far. Oh, and look there. There is a grocery store truck, a Food Land truck. I told you that sometimes we used trains to move food. Oh my goodness. And here I see this old-fashioned cart, and it says Melville Dairy. Dairy is anything that has to do with milk. Milk. And it says right down here, Melville milkshakes sold here. It says they're in Burlington. Oh, and here's a mail cart. There's not a lot of room in there for a lot of mail, is there? It's a long time ago. So many different ways to move. Oh, here's another way that Miss Susan hasn't thought about. Here is a tractor. Tractors are very important if you live on a farm because they help you with your garden, with your crops. We talked about the crops when we went to see the poinsettias. Oh, I see some more of these old-timey fire trucks. So these buildings are where they worked on the trains. Look how tall they are. They kind of look like our greenhouse from last week, a tiny bit, don't they? There are big windows in the ceiling. I bet you they can open those windows in the summer when it's hot in here and they have all the trains that are making so much heat. I bet they open those windows to let the heat out. Learned some different things today. It says that one is from 1924. Wow. They still need ladders. They still need hoses to put out the fire. I wanted to show you, I don't think I've been this close to the outside of a plane. It looks like the insides are gone, like that it's just the outside, the shell. The airplane. And you know, I noticed something. This plane is missing something very important. What do you see it has forgotten? They don't have any wings on this plane. So I don't think that we could ride on this plane. I might have just said train. There's not supposed to be wings on a train. There's supposed to be wings on a plane. And there's something else. You see these sometimes. I've seen these in cartoons where they pump these little bars back and forth to make it go. I didn't see that before. Here's some wheels for the airplane, I believe. Oh, and here is a propeller that would turn and turn and turn, and that's the motor underneath it. Here's some more of these, what did I call them? Antiques. These are buggies. There's Ford. Ford still makes cars today. So rescue squad, we have to have trucks to help people, so ambulances and fire trucks and police cars all need engines. Isn't that beautiful? That doesn't have a top. Do you know what a car is that doesn't have a top? It's called a convertible. So it would be important to drive this car when the sun is shining, wouldn't it? Might not be very fun to ride in a convertible if it's raining. Even the music sounds kind of old-fashioned to Miss Susan. The Model T Depot hack. Look at there. It tells that it's a Model T. It's a pretty famous car as cars go. And Rolls Royce, that's fancy. Okay, Scruffy, let's see what else we can find. There's another way to travel, a hot air balloon. Wouldn't that be awesome? This has trains, but it also has airplanes. This was like one of the very first airplanes. Susan remembers coming to see this when I was in school. God, the people are just laying there. I think they pedaled it with their feet. In North Carolina, oh, this is the Wright brothers, because they were the first people to fly. Oh, look at that. On December 17th, 1903, Wilbur and Orville Wright. Wow. Pretty cool. So it says from Kitty Hawk, which is where they were on their plane, to the moon in 66 years. That's a spaceship. You could also travel on a spaceship. I want to show you some of the signs. There's a yield. And there's a flagman. It means you have to be careful. Somebody's going to help you with a one-way street. There is no turning right. And there is our railroad sign. Oh, and we know that sign, don't we? Stop. So boys and girls, this is what I wanted to show you. This is the roundhouse. And I want you to notice it almost looks like a garage for trains. So what they do is they work on the trains in these little, they'll call them a bay. Look at these right here. See, there's trains in each one of those. And if you notice, there's tracks all over the ground. So when they finish working on the train and they have it all fixed up, they'll drop the train on the tracks into this little bridge. And the bridge can twist around, and it turns around in a circle so that it can get the train headed out on the right set of tracks. Look over there. See, if they came out and twisted this, there would be all sorts of different tracks they might put the train on. But this middle thing that looks like a bridge actually helps turn the train in the right direction. So if the train came in on that set of tracks right there, but it wanted to go just right there, it would pull on to this bridge, and then they would twist it around to get it headed into the right train garage or bay. When my boys were young, they had a Thomas the Train, and it was so much fun to play with the little wooden trains. And one of their favorite parts of the Thomas set that Santa left them was the roundhouse. There's a train. And it is on tracks too. Let's go see what else we can find inside of the museum. Here's the inside of the roundhouse. See all these train tracks I was telling you about? And there's the turntable out there. Can you hear that train far away? Scruffy. There's our conductor. You're the one that said, all aboard. I count one. I count the engine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. And another one makes 6 cars. 6 cars long. There's the end. What a fun day at the train station and the Transportation Museum. We're gonna walk and follow the path now. You see all the train tracks? There's that turntable I was telling you about. Hi, boys and girls. Thank you so much for coming with us today to the Transportation Museum. So transportation means how we get from one place to the other. You do? You have a question? Does it take wheels for something to go? That's a good question, Scruffy. Well, the trains have wheels, and cars have wheels. Even airplanes have wheels. What doesn't have wheels? You are so smart. Boats do not have wheels because they have to float, right? Well, I'm going to put Scruffy down just a minute. There's our train station behind us. And I want to thank our friends at the Cabarrus Arts Council for letting us come see you today. Miss Susan's having to video myself. And also our friends at the Early Childhood Foundation of Cabarrus County. They help Miss Susan put my videos on YouTube so that you can have music with me and Scruffy and go on our field trips. So let's sing goodbye to everybody. Now we just had a field trip to the Transportation Museum. It was lots of fun and we rode a Christmas train. Goodbye, boys and girls. Goodbye, Scruffy. See you next week, and we have a big surprise. Have a good day, friends. Bye, Scruffy.